right, somebody say we on? We on? All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out every week to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, also known as Babylon in the scriptures. All right, but before we do so, we want to give praises to the Most High and His Son in the true Hebrew, the Lashawan Kodash, which is also known as the Holy Tongue. All right, we'll say Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amah. All right, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders, and Shalom to you, Akim, and Akbatim, the children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. All right, today the topic is how the Most High controls everything with the palm of His hand. All right, He controls the ages as they change. And in this sense, the word age represents time, but time also deals with kingdoms. All right, so the Lord builds kingdoms and he tears down the kingdoms upon this earth. All right, so what you would call that is divine intervention. So when the Lord is ready to set the end of a certain time period, the Lord intervenes and he helps forward the transition. All right, forward the transition. So we want to kind of build with that in mind. How the Most High governs over the whole world and over time with the palm of His hand. Somebody get Daniel 7, Ancient of Days. Let's start with that. Yep, the Ancient of Days, that's it. Because, yep. Excuse me. In 1,000 years, there's a day to them. Get these real quick.
Daniel 71.
Mm. 1,000 years a day to the Lord. I forgot the other one I called for. Oh, Daniel 7. Let's say Ancient of Days.
That's Daniel.
7 and 9.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9.
Yeah, there you go.
And it says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
Right, so right here you have thrones, and by thrones it represents kingdoms. You see that? So the different rulerships upon earth. So the throne, all the thrones are going to be cast down by who? By Yahushua. All right? All right, go ahead.
And the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
Right, it's the Ancient of Days, right? So why did they call him the Ancient of Days? Because he created the process of day and night upon earth, and he gave that to man, to human beings, to tell what, to give us time and harvest. All right, so the Most High operates outside of time. Okay, so in this world of matter, of flesh, he raises up kings and he brings down kingdoms upon earth. All right, to bring about his will. Let's get the other one.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 8. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day.
Right, so 1,000 years to us, they say King of Kings, Lord of Lords. All right, so 1,000 years to us is nothing to him. It's just a day, if that. All right, so let's get where is it at? Revelation 19 and 16. Yep, 19 and 15. We're gonna build up to it. All right, so he's before days and he's after days, meaning what? He's the eye and the thigh. All right, so that time in between is nothing but a drop from a bucket. All right, that we call life and reincarnation, coming back upon this earth. All right, so when the Lord showed Nebuchadnezzar through Daniel or through a dream all the kingdoms that were going to come on the earth, dealing with the prophecies leading up to the kingdom of heaven, you know, it shows that the Lord has the power over everything, over all of that. All right. So as we see Esau ruling the day, it helps us to have confidence knowing that the Most High is in control. Yahushua is in control. All right. Because Esau make you think he's God. They really believe that. Go ahead, brother.
All right, it's the book of Revelations, chapter 19, starting at verse 15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations.
Right, the Most High gave him that sword, and that's called what we call a laser beam. All right, the Lord got power coming out of his hand and out of his chariot. Go ahead.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
Yep, that means what? The same way they ruled us, the Roman Empire. That means harsh punishment. All right, what they call that? Draconian measures.
I got this, son.
That's right. Yahushua is our dragon. Esau has their dragon. Yahushua is our dragon. That Moses held the staff and smoked their dragon. All right. Go ahead, a little bit more. I think.
All right. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty God.
That's right. So Yahushua is set up to do that. Yahushua is the one that set up to establish these kingdoms and to tear down these kingdoms. All right. He's the one that has the keys of David to open and to shut. All right. That was it on that. On the King of Kings.
Verse
That's the next
16.
part. All right, good build up too.
All right, verse 16. And he have on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
Right. So that'd be what? Malachium and Adunya shall Adunya. All right, which would be King of Kings, Lord of Lords. All right. So you say King of Kings, Lord of Lords, right? So that's right. So he's King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So all the kings that we've ever seen upon this earth, Yahushua is above them all, man. And he ruled above them all. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm gonna get Daniel 10. Let's start with that. You got something? Yeah,
It's in Revelation chapter 6, verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened the seal, and I heard as it were a noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, "Come and see."
Right. The thunder represents the Lord's judgment. All right. That's the Lord speaking. It sounds like thunder to us. Go ahead.
And I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him.
Right. So who is that? Yahushua. When he went up to the heavens, back on the right hand of the Father, because he's been ruling since the beginning of the time. Yahushua has always been on the right hand of the Father. All right. So this King Yahushua that has overcome, he went up there and got crowned, and he had a bow in his hand, which is that sword, that beam. Go ahead.
It's a bow and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
There you go. So he went forth conquering and to conquer. How is he conquering? In the spirit. He's ruling from the spirit realm. Okay, controlling the hearts of kings, doing the Father's will upon earth, bringing about the prophecies and the seals. All right. So let's get into. Oh, go ahead. You got more?
Yeah. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that he should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Right. So that's twofold. That goes into Alexander the Greek, who we're going to speak about today, and even today, the beginning and the end of Esau. All right. The establishment of the Greek Empire, which was with Alexander the Greek, them Edomites, paganism, Hellenizing our people, and then today with the end of Esau, where they're going to bring in martial law and the MOTB and all kind of plagues. All right, the sword. Okay, so yeah, man. So Yahushua is controlling them. He's the one that established Alexander. He's the one that established Esau today, man, the dragon.
And one key word in that scripture said, "And power was given unto him to take peace away from the earth." All right, so now that's what Yahushua is set to do. He gave them the power to take peace away from the earth, and now Yahushua is going to restore peace on the earth.
There you go, man. All right. And he gave the earth into their hands. Let's get Daniel chapter 10 real quick. Let's start robbing a little bit. 10 and 1.
This is Daniel chapter 10, verse 1. It says, in the third year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel.
Right, so the third year, that would be, in the third year of Cyrus, it would be from 540, which is, you start from the beginning to the end of that year, that'd be 1 year. 39, 38, third year. All right, so 538 BC. So read that again. So in the third year of Cyrus.
It says, in the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia.
Right, king of Persia. All right, so in the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that's when Daniel died. All right, Daniel died around 538 BC. He lived long enough to see the Assyrian Empire fall. He lived long enough to see the Babylonian Empire raise up, and he lived long enough to see the Israel, Judah, the southern kingdom fall, and he lived long enough to see Cyrus the Great, the Persians, rise up. All right, and then he died in 538 BC, and then that's when Zerubbabel was made governor by Cyrus. Okay. All right, go ahead.
It says, in the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was called
Belshazzar.
Belteshazzar.
Right, that name was given to Daniel by these damn heathens, Bel. All right, which goes into Baal. You see that? So they gave him a slave name, just like they gave us today, like Jackson, you know, all these Edomite names. See that? So let's skip down to Daniel 12, just to build the point topic.
All right, skip down to verse 12. It says, then said he unto me, fear not, Daniel.
All right, now, brother.
For from the first day that thou didst see thine heart,
right,
to understand.
I set that heart.
It says from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand.
Right. So when did Daniel set his heart to understand? That was around 620 BC. All right. So from that first day that Daniel got the call from the Lord, all right, around 620 BC, that was the first time the Lord started dealing with Daniel. And Daniel called upon the Lord. So right when he called upon him,
I'm Daniel.
My name's actually Daniel. I got that.
Oh, okay.
You know, I feel you, man.
That was a weird awkward moment. Lions Den, bro.
That's right. You said Lions Den?
Oh yeah.
That's the name of our crew.
Lions Den, right?
Our camp is called Lions Den.
That's just.
It's just coming together. That's how it go, man.
I live by a PC 6
All right, bro. No doubt, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, that was just crazy. Yeah. But that could just be the energy, you know, synergy. So let's keep going, man. From Daniel 12, I'm gonna lose my point.
I got you.
But we're focusing on Daniel right now. Okay.
Daniel 10 and 12, it says, then said he unto me, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thy heart to understand.
Woo, so from the first day you set your heart to understand, us brothers, you know. From the first day we set our heart to understand, the Lord hear us. The Lord dealing with you. He said what? He'll come in and sup with you. You see that? And he say, there's joy in the presence of the angels for one sinner that repenteth. All right, go ahead, brother.
And to chastise thyself before thy power.
Right, you said chastise?
It said right. To chasten thyself before thy power.
Right, so Daniel was chastening himself just like we do today. We what? Rehearse the righteous acts.
I got you. Give me a second. I got you.
Go ahead, bro. All right, so that's what we do in the sight of the Lord. We chasten ourselves. We try our best to keep the Lord's laws. All right, go ahead. Oh, you got.
All right, yeah. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Would to Yahweh you could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as chaste virgins to Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Right. So who's that? Yahweh Shai. All right. Yahweh Shai is our tiller. He's the one that tills the soil. He's the one that breaks up the fallow ground. He's the one that plants the seed. He's the one that through the power of Yahweh helps it grow. All right. So us being chastened, it was the Lord's Spirit that was upholding Daniel to do that. All right. So yeah, any points you want to make on it?
No, that's the chastening that we go through, that we endure to become purified in Yahweh, in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right, man. For the Lord's faith to be tried 7 times over in completion. All right, go ahead, brother. All the way to 14.
All right. Back at verse 12. It says, then said he unto me, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thy heart to understand, and to chasten thyself before thy power, thy words were heard.
Right, man. The Lord can hear us, man. Go ahead, brother.
and I am come from thy words.
That's right. So, yep, the Lord said he came for that word. That's Yahushua speaking. He said, I am come for thy words. He was sitting right there talking to Daniel, man. All right, think about that.
Verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
It says, but the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me.
Right, he's talking about Cyrus right here. So this is Yahushua setting up Cyrus the Great, to free us from the bond of the Babylonians. Even though the Lord wasn't, even though Cyrus the Great was a wicked heathen, and he didn't know the Lord, the Most High Yahweh still used him to deliver us from the Babylonian rule. All right. So, but even still, he was so damn wicked, he resisted the Lord for like 4 months. You know, he was fighting against him, fighting against our people. Okay, he was against our people. Go ahead.
God, it says, withstood me 120 days.
Right. So 120 days, that's basically like 120 days, that's like four months. All right. So he withstood him. Go ahead.
But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to me, Shalaki, came to help me, and I remained.
Right. So there you go. See, and I remained. Why? Because Yahushua was busy dealing with Cyrus. That's like somebody. That's like you holding a rope, and you tell somebody, "Yo, come over here, hold this rope for me. I gotta go do something." That's what Yahushua did. He was dealing with the mind of Cyrus, and he left that so he can go talk to Daniel. He said, "Now I'm here talking with you now." All right, but I couldn't leave until I got somebody to relieve me, my relief. And the only one that can relieve me is somebody that can reach that level, which would be who? Somebody that's like God. Mayaka Allah, that's what the name means. He is like God.
And it says, and I remained there with the kings of Persia.
So he remained there with the kings of Persia. See that? Yahushua was still dealing with them. Go ahead.
Now I am come to make thee understand.
See, now I'm here. Now I can come here and talk to you because I got my relief there. All right, go ahead.
What shall befall thy people?
Right, so he said, what shall befall thy people? Why? Let's go back up to 10 and 1 real quick. I want to talk about one more point on that.
All right, back at Daniel 10 and 1.
Yeah.
It says, in the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel,
Yep.
whose name was called Belteshazzar.
There you go. Yeah, keep going.
And the thing,
That's the point.
and the thing was true.
It's true. See, he said, what? His prophecies are what? They're true. All right, it's true, man. This thing is true. Go ahead.
And the thing was true, but the time appointed was long.
See, but the time appointed was long. See, he was letting him know prophecy. He was telling Daniel, like, yo, I'm gonna let you know something, but it's gonna be a long time for this to happen. See, the time from the Persian Cyrus all the way to the Greek Alexander was gonna be a long time.
And which is beautiful because that was Yahushua comforting him because he knew Daniel was about to die. So he was letting Daniel know that there's going to be deliverance for his people, for our people. So before Daniel went his way to sleep with his father.
Right, you got that? He said, go that way, Daniel.
Yeah.
To the NB. Yeah, he was comforting him. He was telling him. All right, and Daniel saw Yahushua right before he died, man.
All right, this is Daniel chapter 12, verse 13. But go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in the lot at the end of the days.
See that? So the Lord knew that Daniel was about to die. He said, yo, go thy way. You know, go what? To the heavens. You know, live your life, man. You're about to perish. And he said, what?
He said, till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in the lot at the end of the days.
See that? And thou shalt rest, meaning die, and stand in the same lot. So continue in that path all the way to the end. All right, don't change off course until the end. Seal your fate, your destiny for the future. All right, and you're gonna be prophesying again in these last days. See, that was comforting. He was letting them know it's gonna be a long time, just like he told us. What did he tell them? When he said, "Are you gonna restore the kingdom right now?" He said, "Are you here to restore the kingdom?" Yeah, kind of. Y'all know what it is? He said, "Restore the kingdom." Are y'all here? Are you here to restore the kingdom right now? He said, "No." He said, "This word got to be published first." All right. We can keep going with that, brother.
All right, back at Daniel 10 and 1. All right, it says, in the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, and the thing was true.
Right, this thing was true. Go ahead, Canuck. How about it, brother?
Okay. All right, this is Acts chapter 1, verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel?
Right, Yahweh Shah, yo, not yet. He came back every time. Just tell us, not yet. All right, not yet, man. It's close, just not yet. Be patient. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the season which the Father hath put in his own power.
See that? That's what the Most High had put that in his own power, man. And that's power to be able to keep that even away from the angels and from his only son, Yahweh Shah. That moment to where he's going to deliver us, man, and give the bride to the husband.
I said, but ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost has come upon you.
Then he kept telling us the signs to look for. And even in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, he told us signs to look for, the prophecies. All right.
And ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea.
Right. He said basically you're gonna be standing in your lot again. You're gonna be witnesses all over the earth one day. Those same prophets and Daniel and them back again. Go ahead.
In Samaria and unto the uttermost parts of the earth.
That's right, man. All right, go ahead, brother. So this thing is true, faithful and true. All right, go ahead, brother.
All right, back at Daniel 10. All right, I'm gonna go into the middle. It says, and the thing was true, but the time appointed was long.
Right, time appointed that the Lord appointed to us is gonna be a long time. But
and he understood the thing.
Right, so Daniel understood that. He was like, all right, so we ain't gonna get the kingdom back then. You know, in the 6th century and the 5th century BC, we ain't gonna get it back then during the times of Daniel. We're gonna get it in the future. Okay, go ahead.
It says, and had understanding of the vision.
So, and he had the understanding of that same vision. Okay, so now let's get back down to the point.
Verse 14.
Yeah.
All right, back at verse 14, it says, now I am come to make thee understand.
Whoa, see that? So Yahweh Shah came personally to Daniel to make him understand, just like the Lord is dealing personally with you in this truth today. He said, I will come in and sup with you. All right, he's still with us, man. Same way he was with Daniel.
Now I am come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days.
See that? He was letting them know what was going to befall his people. Who that? The Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the speckled bird Israelites that scattered around the four corners of the earth. He was letting them know what was going to befall his people, that we were going to be a scattered nation going to slavery and everything. But it was going to start with Cyrus the Great. At that time, Babylon, you know, Cyrus the Great, Alexander the Greek, the Romans, then America, the EU and all that. And then the Lord going to deliver it. He'll let them know it's going to be a long time. Why? Because we sinned against the Lord. And he said to fix that and to purge that out of our nation and to reestablish it and set up the most anointed, the Lord had us go through this process. All right. And he set up a iron furnace for us to purify the imperfections out of it. It's called Babylon today. All right. And he established the enemy to play the part of the devil in these last days, which is Esau. All right, so let's finish this up. All right.
And it says, for yet the vision is for many days.
Right, so this vision is for many days in the future, okay? And that's very important to hang on to. It's letting the Lord letting you know, like, yo, he promised us in the beginning. He said his spirit should not always dwell with man. You know, other than that, he can have us live forever. But he's not going to do that. You know, he's going to get that to Yahweh Shai first. All right, go ahead, brother. That was 14? All right, let's get to the next one, precept. Daniel 10 and 19.
All right. All right, this is Daniel.
So now let's go into the actual vision. Okay, the vision that he's talking about is going to be for a long time. Go ahead.
This is Daniel 10 and 19. And said, oh man, greatly beloved, fear not. Peace be unto thee.
Right, so we shouldn't fear. You know, the Lord said peace is unto our people, man. All right, unto the elect. Go ahead.
It says, be strong.
So be strong. Okay, go ahead.
Yea, be strong. And when he had spoken unto him, I was strengthened.
Right, so yep. So when the Lord speaks unto you, you get strength. You know, go ahead.
And said, let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me.
Right, man.
Verse 20, it says, then said
right,
he.
Yeah. No, we can deal with that. Because even today, the Lord had to strengthen us to be able to hear. You know, we were dead. We were weak. And now the Lord has given us strength to be able to hear his word. All right.
Verse 20 says,
Hear his voice.
it says, then said he, knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now wherefore I come unto thee, Shalaki. It says, and now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia. And when I come, it says, and when I am gone forth.
Right. So he went again. So this Yahushua is saying he's going to go and spiritually fight again, wrestle with Cyrus the Great again to get him into the mindset that the Father wanted him to be in. All right, to be able to deliver and bring the children of Israel back to Jerusalem around 538 BC. That's when Cyrus the Great put out that decree for Israel to come back and rebuild the temple. All right, that was destroyed in 586 BC by the Babylonians. All right, and the Edomites. Come on, bro. Jump right back in.
It says, and now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia, and when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Greece shall come.
See that? So he's saying, yo, once the Lord goes forth, that's why he said what? He's going forth to conquer and conquer. So once the Lord finally goes forth and finish dealing with Cyrus the Great and the Persians, then lo, the prince of Greece is going to show up. Of Grecia, who is that? Alexander the Great. All right, so he was letting you know that it's going to be a long time though. All right, just talking general. Somebody thinking something, oh, tomorrow. You know, no, he's saying like it's going to be a long. He's thinking on God terms, not human terms.
Right.
You know what I mean? Humans, we want things fast. Microwave. You know. But Yahushua is long suffering and patient. That was it, right?
One more.
Yeah, but
verse 21, it says, but I will show thee that which is noted in the scripture of truth.
Go ahead.
And there is none that holdeth with me in these things.
Right, there's nobody else besides Yahweh and his son Yahushua. There's nobody to help him. All right, he's the one that's in control. Basically letting you know right there that he didn't need Michael's help. He just used him. He's like saying, hey man, hold this for me while I go deal with Daniel. That's thinking like on a godly level. All right, go ahead, brother.
Just like how he did with Abraham with
Sodom
and Gomorrah.
Go ahead. We're about to get into it.
And it says, and there is none that holdeth with me in these things, but Michael your prince.
Right, see that? That's the only one that helped him out was Michael. Okay, but he didn't really need his help. Let's get that Genesis 18:1. All right, so a good example, like Kanak was saying, you know how the angels deal with each other. They deal in order, and Yahushua is the captain, and he'll be talking right to you, and he'll have his angels go do the work, you know, go do the damage. But in this case, he had the angels show up to take hold and deal with Cyrus and keep him in order, while Yahushua left and spoke to Daniel. All right, so we're gonna read it in reverse, dealing with Abraham.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 18, starting at verse 1.
Right, go ahead. We're gonna speak about the three angels that showed up. Go ahead, Doc.
All right. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, three men stood by him.
Right, so Abraham was sitting outside, just like Jake like to sit on the porch. And he was sitting out there in the heat of the day, right? Or where was he at? They said the porch or a tree? The doorway, right?
In the tent door.
The tent door. You gotta picture that, man. Abraham and Jake. And in the heat of the day, that's like 12 in the afternoon. Broad daylight. Go ahead, brother.
And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, three men stood by him.
Imagine that. You look up and you see three men show up. You know, they let you know they're men. They're not four-headed beasts.
And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself toward the ground.
Right, so he said three men, right? All right, so now let's focus on those three men. And we know one of them is Yahushua at that time, because he's the one that destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So let's get over to, you went to three already, right? No bad, bro. Yep.
Verse 3, and said, my Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant.
See that? He knew that was the Lord. See that? He knew that was Yahushua. Abraham did. So that's why Yahushua said that. Can somebody get that before Abraham? Before Abraham was, I was. Come. think you're done with that one.
John 8.
Yeah, 58. Yeah. I think it's 58.
8 and 40 is the year of the father of the devil.
Yeah, 8 and 58.
8 and
58.
58.
Yeah.
John chapter 8, verse 58. Yahushua said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am.
Right. See, at that time, they didn't understand that. But now we understand in these days, we understand clearly. All right. During the time of revealing, now we understand that before Abraham was, Yahushua was, man. All right. He's from the beginning. He's the I and the Tha. All right. So let's keep going with, look at Genesis 18 to 33. Now let's get to the point.
All right, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 18 and verse 33.
Mhm.
And the Lord went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto his place.
Right, see that? So that was talking about when Abraham was begging the Lord, saying, "Hey, if you found this many righteous men in the city, will you not destroy it?" And the Lord was like, "Hey, for this many, I won't. If there's 2 people there, I won't." But there wasn't any righteous people there, so the Lord destroyed it. He got Lot up out of there. That was one. Got him and his family out of it. All right, but while he was talking to Abraham, right? Where was it at? 33. Yeah, 33. Okay, yeah, come on, I'm gonna get to that point. But while he was talking to Abraham, the 2 angels went off to go to Sodom and Gomorrah to get Lot. You see that? So the same way the Lord was dealing with Abraham is the same way the Lord was dealing with Daniel, but sending Michael around. You know what I mean? So the same way he's dealing with Abraham, sending his angels around. Can you go to the next chapter, first verse? Because while he said, now the Lord went his way, what? After speaking with Abraham, because Abraham was holding him up.
So this is Genesis 19 and verse 1. And there came 2 angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face towards the ground.
See that? So the Lord sent those same 2 angels. Remember, it was 3 of them. It was the Lord and 2 angels. So those 2 angels were sent off to go get Lot. All right, while he was talking to Abraham. All right, and then those angels like, yo, hurry up, because Yahushua about to get busy. And then that's when he started raining fire down. Think about that. Yahushua went his way and was getting set up for the show. While the angels go get Lot.
And then the fact that Lot knew that they were righteous men on point, on
That's
spot,
right.
as soon as they started showing up, he went to greet them because he was vexed for having to be in Sodom and Gomorrah, man.
Right,
Being
man.
around all that wickedness. And to see 2 righteous men show up, shit, that was a little uplifting to him within itself.
Right, man. That was it on that, right? What's the point? Just those 2. Yeah, don't say nothing about Yahushua reigning, the Lord, and destruction. No, it's in there somewhere, but we had to find it. It's all good. Daniel 10 and 20. Let's move on. Daniel 2 and 20.
2 and 20?
Yeah. 10 and 20. Slock it.
All right, this is Daniel 10 and 20.
Yeah, we kind of refresh where we was at.
And it reads, it says, then said he, knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia.
Right, so the Lord was fighting, meaning wrestling. Right, he was wrestling with the prince of Persia. Who was that? The prince of Persia was Cyrus the Great. All right, he was a Persian, today called the Iranians, or originally called the Parthians. All right.
And when I am gone forth,
So once the Lord goes forth and continues with the Persian Empire, all right, the Medo-Persian Empire was really established from 550 BC all the way to 330 BC with the fall of Persia under Alexander. Go ahead.
it says, lo, the prince of Greece shall come.
See, then the prince of Greece is going to come, not the king, but the prince. Who is that? The prince is the son of a king. The prince was Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian. All right.
Verse 21, it says, but I will show thee that
Right.
which is noted in the scripture of truth.
Right. So the Lord letting you know, like, this ain't just happening out of random. People ain't just popping up on the earth. like some Big Bang theory. The Lord's saying, no, he controlling it.
I got you.
That's right, man. You got something? Go ahead, brother.
This is Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Right, where you at?
Proverbs 21:1.
All right, go all the way to 2. All right. So,
Verse 2.
Yeah, actually, let me get this real quick. Daniel 8:3. Let's go there first. But yeah, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, man. He turned to whithersoever he will, man. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 3. Then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high.
Right, we're dealing with the creation of the individual, the character called Alexander. The Lord created these characters upon earth, man. He's the author. All right, this is a theater. And the Lord creates characters. Think about how magnificent that is, man. Of all the grass strands upon the earth, each one has character. Think about that. All right, that takes a lot of tedious, micromanaging.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. This is Sirach chapter 34, verse 10. All men are from the ground, and Adam was created of the earth. And much knowledge the Lord have divided them and made their ways diverse.
There you go, man. Come on, brother. All right, he made their ways diverse. So the Lord created all men from the earth, then from a woman's womb, and the seed of a man, the woman's womb. And then now he divided their ways, made them diverse upon the earth. You see that? Meaning what? Controlling the hearts of men. He the one that put that into their hearts. Go ahead, brother. Good, perfect scripture.
Back at Daniel.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, so everything that Alexander was thinking to do, that passion he had in him to be a conqueror, the Lord created that. All right? Go ahead, Madan, real quick.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45. I'm going to start at verse.
Let's wait on that one.
Wait on that one.
Yeah. Let's wait on that one. You'll see why I'm building something. Yeah, we're gonna go from 1 to 9 on that one. All right. Right after this. Go ahead.
Back at the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 3.
Right. You bear with me.
Then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other.
Right, so that ram that stood before the river, right? That ram is talking about who? Cyrus the Great, all right, Persia. All right, and one horn stood higher than the other. That one horn that stood higher than the other is Persia. All right, it stood higher than it's called the Medo-Persian Empire. But originally it started off, he was called the king of Persia. All right, so he rose up through the king of Persia, through the Persians. All right, go ahead.
And the higher came up last.
So the higher came up last, which is called the Medo-Persian Empire during the time of Xerxes. All right, when Xerxes came to power, he around 485 BC, he coined it the Medo-Persian Empire, not just the Persian Empire. So it came up last, okay? Yeah, kind of. If anything, we go to Daniel 7 probably. Look at that real quick. Daniel 7. 7 and 1. Yeah, take advantage of that pause we had. All right. No, 7 and what was that? 5. 75. Another beast. Yep. All right.
There's the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side.
Whoa, so it raised up itself on one side. There you go again. That first horn that was raised up on one side was the Persian Empire. That's talking about with Cyrus the Great. All right, go ahead.
And it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it.
Right, 3 ribs, which would be what? Lydia, Persia, and Babylon. All right, go ahead.
And they said,
and Media, Slovakia, Media, Babylon, and Lydia. All right, go ahead.
And they said, thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh.
Right, so all of those countries which were originally allies with Babylon, all right, and a lot of those countries, it was actually more than that. It was like almost 10 different cities, that joined up with Cyrus the Great. And they were all saying, yes, let's make him king. Because he was known as a king that would take over your country, but he would let you keep your ways, you know, keep your customs and your religion. And that's what that's why the Lord used him to let us keep our belief, our faith. All right. But then you had Antiochus, he was different. He showed up and he Hellenized our people. All right. So let's keep going with this.
All right, verse 6 of Daniel chapter 7. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
There you go. That's talking about the Greek Empire. Okay, so right after the Persian Empire, it goes straight into the Macedonian Empire with Alexander the Great. All right, and then and after Alexander died in 323 BC, it goes into his son being killed by Cassander and them. And then it goes into the Diadochi, which would be the successors that carried on that paganism from the Macedonian Empire over to Syria. They moved the capital. All right, go ahead. All right.
The beast had also 4 heads.
Oh, my bad. Let's go back to where we was at. Daniel 8 and 3. Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way to 8.
Daniel 8 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's the book of Daniel chapter 8 and verse 3. Then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other.
Right, that's called the Medo-Persian Empire. And the Persian Empire was raised up higher. All right.
And the higher came up last.
Right, go ahead. The Persian Empire, go ahead.
I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him.
Right, so it was taking over everything. Okay, but that was the Lord doing it. That was the Lord raising up Cyrus to take over. All right. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. You want to go with Solomon? Chapter 6? Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into it. Yeah. I want to hold off on Isaiah 45. Okay.
Well, we can hold off on
right after this. Yeah, let's keep going through this real quick. All right, go ahead.
All right. Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand, but he did according to his will and became great.
Right, see that? So it was called Cyrus the Great. All right, he conquered many lands through the power of our God, Yahweh. All right, steering him and moving things out of his way, making his path straight.
And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west of the face of the whole earth.
From Macedonia. That he-goat is talking about the Macedonian Empire, the Greeks. That's why they're the goat. They're the rough goat. When the Lord speaks about the goats to the left and the sheep to the right, that means you don't want to be sided up with these Greeks, these pagans, these Edomites, these Romans today. All right?
And touched not the ground, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes.
Right, so yep, so that's talking about Greece and Macedon, or Philip the Macedonian, and they never fell. All right? So the Lord was exalting them. But then you had a notable horn. That notable horn is Alexander. Okay, that one. Go ahead, brother.
And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river.
Right, so he came to the ram that had 2 horns. Who is that? He came against the Medo-Persian Empire.
And ran unto him in the fury of his power.
Right, so in the fury of his power, man, that power of the Greek Empire. All who is that? All the Romans, they looked at Alexander as a what's that, the war chief or something like that. You know, they use his book to basically for war. Sun Tzu. Yeah, Napoleon and all them. You know, they all use it. Huh? Strategy guy. Yeah, strategy guy. Thank you. Yeah, strategy guy for war. All right. Yeah, you good. Take your time.
Verse 7 of Daniel chapter 8.
Yep.
And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler,
which means like hatred.
And he was moved with choler against him and smote the ram.
Right, so he smote the ram. What part of the ram did he smite? See, that's what the Lord told us in Daniel 10, I think 20, chapter 20, where it says it's going to be for a long time. All right, from Cyrus all the way to Darius III. Okay, Darius III, which would be the Persian. He was known as the Persian king that lost the kingdom. He failed. He lost the kingdom to Alexander. All right. Before that, the Persians were withstanding the Macedonia, the Persians.
And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and break his 2 horns.
Right. So he broke both of them, the Persian Empire and the Medes. All right. He broke them on both fronts. All right, through his master war strategies that he had. Go ahead, bro.
And there was no power in the ram to stand before him.
Why? Because the Lord changed the time. That's called what? The changing of the age. All right, out with that time, and the Lord was bringing in the new time period. Okay, the Lord controls the changing of the guard and the changing of ages. Go ahead.
But he cast him down to the ground and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand.
There you go. So that happened, man. All right. So Alexander brought down the kingdom of the Persians and the Medes, and there was nobody that could help him. All right. Just like the Lord used Esau against us. Just like the Lord is going to use these nations, and Yahushua is going to show up and destroy Esau now. The changing of the age, the changing of the guard.
Verse 8.
Let me finish real quick. Just one more verse.
All right, in verse 8 of Daniel chapter 8, therefore the he-goat waxed very great.
Yeah, the he-goat, the Greek Empire, it waxed very great. Okay, go ahead.
And when he was strong, the great horn was broken.
See, when he got strong, when the Greek Empire got real strong, that great horn, Alexander, died. He got sick and died. The Lord cursed him. All right, he died in 323 BC. And his son was supposed to rule, but that's when you get the Diadochi rising up, and they set crowns upon themselves and established the capital in Syria and moved the pagan capital from Greece to Syria. That's when you get Antioch today.
The great horn was broken, and forward came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven.
There you go. All right, so those are the 4 notable ones. That's the Diadochi, meaning the successors. It was Cassander, Lassamaicus, Seleucid Empire, and the Ptolemies over Egypt. All right. So that's prophecy, man. That's why we're getting into this. And the Lord controlled all of it like puppets. All right, we're gonna get First Maccabees. Go ahead, you got an interjection?
Yeah, about time.
Yeah, First Maccabees.
All right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season.
Right. So the Lord gave everything a season. He gave everything a time to grow and a time to fade out. All right, a beginning and an end. That's what a season means. Go ahead up.
And a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right. So at a time to every purpose. So everything has purpose under the heavens. Right. Yeah, right. And at that time, what was the purpose for the Assyrian Empire? To take down the northern kingdom. What was the purpose of the Lord raising up the Babylonians, which was still Assyrians? They were raised up to take down the southern kingdom. What was the Persian Empire for? To take down the hand that came against us, the Babylonians. See that? So the Lord always does that. He'll raise up a nation against us if we don't act right, and then he'll destroy that nation as well, just like he did with the Egyptians. All right. Precepts. I got one. Let's bring it. Y'all can bring a few precepts out real quick in addition.
This is James chapter 1, verse 3. And this is going earlier off of what Yahweh said unto Daniel, how this thing is true, but it's going to take some time to come. Knowing this, that like in verse 2, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So it's a beautiful and perfect thing to let patience work is work. And that's what we're putting. We're putting a position to hope and have faith on Yahweh Shem Yahshai, and everything that we endure on this side, it strengthens our faith. It allows us to be humble and be patient.
Right. Let's bring these out real quick. I'm gonna get back to the First Maccabees. I think he had it first.
This is Psalm 75 and 7. It said, but Yahweh is the judge.
Right, the Most High is the judge, man. All right, That's what this is about. The Most High being the judge, man. Go ahead.
It says, he put it down one and set it up another.
Right. He put it down one. Where you at, Job?
Psalm 75.
Okay, go ahead.
That's it. That was it.
Right. He put it down one and what?
And set it up another.
And he set it up another. So the Lord is controlling all of this, man. So who set up Esau over us? The Lord, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28. All right. Very simple to understand, man. Right. So oh, go ahead, brother.
This is Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 9.
Mhm.
A man's heart devised his way, but the Lord directed his steps.
Mm.
So ultimately, the Lord, he ruleth in the kingdom of man. He directs man's steps,
Right.
no matter where you go.
Just like he directed who steps? Cyrus the Great. Just like he directed Alexander's steps, and every king and Caesar and senator, whoever ever ruled in any type of office. The politicians today, the Lord is directing their steps. Look at Putin. The Lord is directing his steps. He's gonna turn these back and put hooks into their jaws, meaning causing him to desire that old Soviet Union back again. All right, bringing them into blockade or war.
It's Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruled in the kingdom of men, and he giveth it to whoever he will, and he set it up over the basis of men.
Right, so the Lord set up these damn cavemen. All right, and that's what Alexander and them were. They were Edomites. They were cavemen, and the Lord set them up. All right, so he set up over the basis of men, so he can also put them back on the base too. All right, can we get First Maccabees 1 and 10? This is
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 10.
right. I'm gonna stop you a lot.
Gone. And there came out of them a wicked root.
Right, yeah, 1 and 1.
1 and 1.
Yep.
It's Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the
Yep.
Macedonian.
Right, there you go. The son of Philip. That's the prince that it was talking about in Daniel 8, and also in Daniel 10 and 20, where it said the prince of Grecia.
Who came out of the land of Chittim.
Right, he came out of the land of Shittim, all right, which would be like Pella, Greece. All right, he was born, I think, 356 BC. And he died 323. He got in power in 336. Took down Jerusalem and annexed us to the Greek Empire. He took over Jerusalem in 332 BC. All right, he put hell on our people, man. So he wasn't a good person.
Had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
Right, so he smote Darius, this Alexander, this Edomite. He smote Darius, the king of the Persians and the Medes. So that's the two horns that he smoked. All right, going with Daniel chapter 8.
That he,
remember he prophesied this to Daniel. All right.
That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
Right, so he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, man. All right, so he's the one that really established the Greek Empire. Okay, go ahead.
And made many wars and won many strongholds.
See that? For the Greek Empire, he won many wars and took over many strongholds. Many they're probably not even written in the book. Go ahead.
And slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth.
Right, that goes with Revelation chapter 6. All right, the red horse and the sword, and also till this day, Esau still has that sword, man.
You still have that mindset of going to the ends of the earth and always trying to get stuff.
Right.
And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations.
Right, but it was all in vain. It was all vanity, man. You look back on history, it came and went.
And so much that the earth was quiet before him.
Right, so he said so much that the earth was quiet before him. He was not brought down, man. Nobody could bring him down. All right, nobody could say nothing or do anything about it. Why? Because the Lord, our power set that up.
Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up.
See that? But once he got exalted, just like America got exalted, and then their heart became lifted up, their presidents and their dream of a American dream and a new world order See, once Esau and those Europeans over there got lifted up, they got their riches now. Now they want what? Ultimate power. See, they lifted up. All right. They became prideful. They became fat. Their heart became fat. Meaning what? They starting to see a greater purpose for themselves. They want more. They're like, yo, now we can go into the body. We ain't gotta go out of space. Let's just go into the body. That's like going into space.
By that movie Inner Space.
Right.
Verse 4.
Or being John Malkovich. That was a good one, right? You gotta be a nerd to know that.
That was good. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him.
Right. So we're basically hearing about the power of our Lord Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man, establishing Alexander. That was it, all the way to 10?
And after these things, he fell sick.
Right, see that? So he was broken, his horn was broken. He fell sick. Go ahead, the Lord, what is that? The Lord kills, make a lot of wounds and heals.
That's Isaiah 45. Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, it is.
There's
It's a different
another
one too, though.
in First Samuel.
Yeah, that one probably. All right. Yeah, the one in Samuel.
First Samuel 1 and 7. I mean 2 and 7. I got it. 2 and 6. This is, 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up.
Right, that's twofold, man. All right, so the Lord can kill us as a nation and resurrect us as a nation. All right, so he had us destroyed by the Babylonians, the Assyrians, and the Lord is going to resurrect us as a nation. All right, we said I wound and I heal. That one, yeah.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 39.
Yep.
See now that I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither there any that can deliver out of my hand.
There you go. So the Lord, once the Lord wounds you, it's no way to heal it. All right, so the Lord wounded Alexander in his pride, and the Lord has wounded America in their pride. So that way, say we would have healed Babylon, but it can't be healed. All right, so the Lord has given it a wound that cannot be healed, man. All right, letting it bleed out in sickness. This place is sick.
It also said, take balm for her and put the balm on her. And that's kind of what they've been doing, trying to stimulate the economy with these stimulus checks and things like that, trying to keep America afloat for as long as they can.
That's right,
but it ain't gonna work.
It ain't gonna work. That's right. All right. Yeah, go to 10. That's it. That's the 10.
Go to skip verse 10.
Oh, you keep going. You keep going.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 5.
Yeah.
And after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die.
Right. The Lord showed him, like, yo, you're gonna die. See? He fell sick and saw nothing but torments ahead of him, that he was gonna die. And it's like, oh shit, I have him thinking different, just like Antiochus. The Lord broke Antiochus down. And he had to, broke it literally. And Antiochus had to he admitted it before his death that he was wrong for what he did to the children of the Lord.
Wherefore he called all his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
Right, and that was supposed to, when he did that, that was supposed to leave his seat on the throne. That was supposed to set it up for his son to rule later. All right. Okay, but then the Diadochi showed up and stole it from the Greeks over there in Macedon. All right. Go ahead.
So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
See that? He died in 323 BC. See that? So once he was dead, what happened next?
And his servants bear rule, every one in his place.
See that? In his place. That's talking about over there in Syria. In different parts of Syria, they all bear rule where they wanted to. Like Babylon, Egypt, you know.
And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them.
See that? So they put crowns upon themselves, And that's why you have the Seleucid Empire later turning into who? Antiochus. So they left it down to their bloodline. And the Ptolemies and so on and so on. So that's prophecy in the scripture. Very clear. And it shows that our power, Yahweh is the one that ruled over all of it. All right, that was it on that, right? Okay. Now let's get to the point. All right, let's get to it. Proverbs 8 and 12. Go out, brother. So we shown when you look at history, these people, if you go to school, they'll teach you that Alexander and all these different conquerors, they ruled off their own free will. But this is not so, man. All right. They were all characters in the danger room, or the Matrix, like on X-Men. The Lord creates your enemy.
All right, this is Proverbs 8, you say 8 and 12?
Yeah.
Proverbs chapter 8, verse 12. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence.
Right, so you know, wisdom comes straight from the Most High. That's the river. Go ahead.
All right, it says, and find out knowledge of witty inventions.
Right, so the Lord knows everything that anybody could create because the Lord created them.
Yeah.
All right, the knowledge of witty inventions. What they got? The MOTB today. They got all this blockchain, Bitcoin, AI technology, virtual reality. And that's nothing. That's nothing. GPS. That's what Jake can trade. Yeah, this woman, Jake woman, she created GPS, and Esau stole it. That's right, man. Go ahead, brother.
Keep on.
Yeah.
Verse 13, it says, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the froward mouth do I hate.
That's right. Keep on with 17.
All right. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength.
Right.
By me, kings reign, and princes decree justice.
Right, but you'll see it in what seemingly weakness. When have you seen wisdom upon the earth? In the men of the Lord. And what condition have they been in compared to the world in a seemingly weak state? Look at Israel compared to Cyrus the Great. Look at our people compared to the Roman Empire and the Greeks, you know, and Esau today. But wisdom, like, yo, I have strength. Trust me. Through wisdom, the Lord created everything. All right? Go ahead, brother. Yeah.
This is First Corinthians.
The right-hand side created everything, man.
First Corinthians, and the left-hand side just lied about it.
Yeah.
First Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27. But Yahweh have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and Yahweh have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
Yeah,
that's basically what the elder was saying, man. So now we're put in this lowly condition, this low state. But that's why who said it? I'm thankful that you have taken this and not given it to the wise and the prudent, but given it to babes.
Man.
So we are those babes that was given it to. And what do Yahweh say? Whoever shall hurt one of these little ones, you know, are gonna have to, you know, say prepare for his wrath, roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah.
So understanding that who the weak ones are, but and it also said that when I'm weak, then we are strong. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai.
Right, man.
Back to Proverbs.
I got what's that? Where's that one at?
Which one?
I know that strength, poverty, but thou art rich.
Oh, Revelation chapter 2 and 9.
There you go. We can read it. All right, I'll read it. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation, see, and poverty. That's how the world looks at us. And poverty. If you go to Wisdom of Solomon, I think 1 and 5. Somebody get that real quick. So we look like we're weak, but this is really strength. Like Yahweh, when he went up on the cross, that was strength. That was greatness. That was power, man. To give his life for his people. It's all about the future. See, people think about now, but the Lord said, what? The first shall be last and the last shall be first. So it's about the future.
Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 5?
I think so, yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1, verse 5.
Yep.
For the Holy Spirit of discipline.
No, is it 5 and 1? I am black.
Oh, Songs of Solomon.
Yeah, that's it. Wisdom of Solomon? Oh, Song of Solomon.
This is the book of Songs of Solomon, 1:5. I am black, but calmly.
Right, that word black don't mean dark skin. You know, a lot of people use that. They'll say Solomon said he was dark skinned right here. No, it's supposed to represent the children of Israel right here. The wife, the woman, the bride speaking. All right, back and forth in the conversation with Solomon, even though it was a poem written by Solomon. Go ahead.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem.
See, we're impoverished, you know, meaning like black or mourning. These are all daughters of Jerusalem, talking about 2/3. Go ahead.
As the tents of Kedar.
Right, as the tents of Kedar, which would be Solomon or King David's tent, which was dark brown or impoverished.
As the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me.
As the curtains of Solomon, you see that? And our tents were falling, you know, the tents of David were falling and broken down.
Look not upon me, because I am black.
Right, don't look at us because we are impoverished. All right, but we really have strength, and wisdom has strength. Go ahead.
Because the sun had looked upon me.
That's right, man. Go ahead.
My mother's children were angry with me.
Right, mother's children. Who is that? Esau and her people. Go ahead.
They made me the keeper of the vineyard, but my own.
I have not kept.
Vineyard have I not kept.
There you go. All right. All right. So yeah, man. So they made us a keeper of that vineyard, right? But our own, we have not been able to keep. We became slaves in this world, building up their society. You know, America was built in the back of slaves. Persia was built, you know, with us in slavery too. The Greek Empire, all of them. But the Lord said, yo, we really the ones that got the strength. And the Lord going to show that in these last days, man. He's going to show that wisdom has strength. Go ahead, let's get back to it. Let's hit on that, bro. Come on. Now, you got something to speak on?
Yeah, just an interjection. Man, it's a scene from the old Black Panthers movie when Black Panthers first establishing the Black Panther Party in this meeting room, and you got some jakes that walk in, and they're like, oh, so when do we get the guns? You know, like, when do we get the equipment? And they basically say, you got to get the knowledge first before you get the guns. And the jakes look at them like, oh, y'all some fools, man. Esau got guns. Y'all going to be, you know what I'm saying? Y'all going to die. And they walked out. But and I'm saying that to say they founded the party on the knowledge that who their enemy and oppressor was in the conditions and in their mindset, how to get out of it. Yeah. And we in that same spirit today, you know, but our spiritual power is about to be manifest physically. Right. You know? So we looked at it as weak now and lowly now, but you know that power is to come.
That's why the Lord said, "Be strong, thou worm Jacob. I will help thee." So we got help. We got hope. Big difference, man, in the Black Panthers. The Lord said, "If this congregation be of the Lord, it shall not fall." So yeah, you're right, brother. We got power with us, man. Just like King David had power with him against Goliath. Right. Go ahead. And then, brother Mark. Yeah.
This is Isaiah 33:6. It's saying, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, is his treasure. You know, as basically the elder was just speaking on, man. Hey, it's going to come a time where wisdom is going to show its strength, you know. And everybody doesn't have that wisdom. So within these times of tribulation, once we finally hit that climax, all right, hey, that's when wisdom is really going to show its true peak of strength, man. Why? Because everybody hasn't been in that spiritual or righteous weight room lifting up those weights, man, to get that wisdom up, man.
Right, going from children to babes to adults. That's right, man. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 4 and verse 37. By measure I'm gonna start at verse 36. And unto these things Uriel, the archangel, gave them answer and said, even when the number of seas is filled in you, for he have weighed the world in a balance. By measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times. And he doth not move nor store them until the said measure be fulfilled. So ultimately, the Lord ruleth in the kingdom of man. When it was time for Cyrus to fall, he fell. When it was time for Antiochus to fall, he fell. That just shows that the Lord is sitting on the power seat and he's ruling.
Right, brother. That's right.
And the Lord is the only person that can use that phrase that our parents used to say all to us all the time. Because I said so. That's the whole point. He's not going to stir up anything because he spoke it, and it has to come to pass exactly the way he spoke it to, because he said so.
Yeah. You know these.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know these. What's it called? Them devil worshippers, those elitists, Satanists, and all them. They believe that their devil, you know, their power that they follow, darkness. They believe that that's the power because you can't see it. They say you can't see ultimate power, but you can see wickedness and devil shit all around, man. You know, the one you can't see is Yahweh.
Right.
He's the invisible power.
Right.
So that's the true power, the one that's ruling. The biggest scheme is to dress somebody up as a puppet and put a crown and a robe on them and tell them, say, off with your head. Now you think they got power. Just like the president. Now they wear suits and they say the same thing. Gonna go to war over here and over here. Esau. They're controlling the earth through corporations. They have you thinking under a delusion of freedom. You're free to buy. You're free to work, but you're not free to quit. Because if you quit working, you fall into poverty that they set up. Because you're supposed to have farms. You know, you're supposed to have things in place that you can go into. All right, so they give the illusion of power, the illusion of freedom. But the true power is Yahweh, ruling from the spirit realm, ruling from in the heavens. All right, setting the bounds. Go ahead, brother.
And like the elder was saying, man, their illusion of power is actually fear, man. Why would you want to sit behind closed doors and not show who you are or what you're worth, you know? Hey, that's the opposite with the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Why? Because he sent his prophets out here around the four corners of the earth to represent who he is, man, and what he is, and what's to come of when he comes, you know.
Right, because what the heavens declare the Most High's handiwork. Everything around you declares his existence. But what was brought into the world, darkness. That darkness has covered everything up. So only the elect are going to be able to pinpoint and see where righteousness is.
Right, so it's a big difference because Esau is hiding through fear because of the darkness, and because it's a bunch of weak old men.
Yeah,
got a bunch of bankers. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord, he hide his power because he's the ultimate power. He's royalty. He like, yo, you don't deserve to see me. You know, right. He got to make us perfect to be able to see him and to be in his presence.
Hey,
the world in their hearts.
And what it is, Wizard of Oz, and you got the old dude in the back. they old and decrepit, so shit. They got to hide their power. Why? Because shit, they know they can get overruled at any time. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua allow it. So they got to put that facade out there. Oh yeah, I'm big and mighty, but really, in all actuality, your name is tiny, man. You know?
Right? Or they create puppets to act like the big and mighty ones, like America. And they establish America as a decoy, saying, "Hey, look over here, attack this."
Just like how they do with these corporations. When the elder just said the whole world is being ran by corporations. What's the whole purpose of a corporation? So you can't point the finger at one individual person.
PepsiCo.
So they put up a whole bunch of mirrors, smoking mirrors, and you're in this big ass smoking mirror room. You know that at the fun house, that mirror room, you think you're walking in the path, and then boom, you hit the mirror. That's exactly what they created up in this matrix.
Right, that's what they call rage against the machine. Somebody, humans against the machine. That's right, man. The machine is the system that the Lord talking about. The image of the beast. All right. So somebody get Job 14:5 real quick, just to finish up on what Barak was talking about with the measuring the times, you know, and controlling the times and ruling from on high. All right. So every day we wake up and go to sleep, the Father's ruling. If we die and leave this earth, the Father's ruling, man.
Job chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
I don't care what Esau is dreaming, planning, or whatever. Whatever they got in place upon this earth is nothing but another ant mound that is built up. They're gonna be washed away with the storm. All right, it's nothing to the Lord. It's vanity. It's like the afterbirth that comes out with a child, set up to be thrown away. As Yahweh is going to be born into this earth again. All right, so let's get back to the point. Jereb, where was it? All the way to 17 on Proverbs?
Yeah, I've got the 17.
All right, good.
All right, this is Proverbs chapter 8.
Yeah, we eating today.
Verse 14. Counsel is mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength.
Bro, see that? We went through that. Yeah, the Lord, wisdom has strength. Go ahead.
It says, by me, kings reign and princes decree justice.
Right. So by the Spirit of the Lord, kings reign upon this earth through the Lord's understanding and wisdom. All right, establishing them. All right, being able to multitask.
By me, princes rule and nobles, even all the judges of the earth.
Right, people, princes, just like Alexander the Great. He was known as a prince. All right, so all of them are ruling. And just like the nobles today, those Edomites over there calling themselves, what do you call that? Lord Rothschild, nobleman. The Lord raised them up. All right, made the perfect enemy on the earth, man, for the heroes, the judges of the earth. The word hero go back to judges.
Verse 16 again, it says, by me, princes rule and nobles, even all the earth, even all the judges of the earth.
Right, people like Cyrus the Great.
It says, verse 17, I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me.
Right, man. That was it. All right, Psalms 103. Psalms 103 and 14, Babak Shah. And then we'll go from there to Jeremiah 25, getting some more prophecies of the Lord.
Psalms.
This is Psalms 103 and 14.
Come on, brother.
It says, for he knoweth our frame. He remembereth that we are dust.
Right, man. So the Lord remembered. He remembered that we just dust, man. These bodies, these frames that we're in, these abodes, these houses are just dust. I don't care who walking around here like they running things. You know, especially Jake in the hood, man. Walking around staring at it like they running stuff. I was looking, I'm like, yo, we just dust, man. Yeah, you know? But they be ready to throw it all away. Like it's nothing.
Hey, and another thing, Jake think he really got something when he got a gun on the tip. I was watching the 85 South show, and they had the young Muslim boy on there, and he said, man, our people out here don't even understand their enemy. You know what I'm saying? They got real live animals that you use at their machines, but they look like real animals. They can assassinate you with that. They got mosquitoes that they use to assassinate people, right? And they talk about this openly, like, oh, we use these AI mosquitoes to deal with the problem in South Florida, dealing with the things that were being spread by the whole mosquito thing.
Yeah.
So not even understanding your enemy, and Jake thinks he's tough with a gun, but you don't even know your enemy. These guns are child's play to these devils, man.
Right. Yeah, Jake on that Heartbreak Ridge said, this is my rifle. You know what I'm saying? But Esau like, well, this is my poverty I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you famine.
Yeah. Hey, you gonna eat them bullets?
Let me see what I got for that.
Walker Shaw, Jake get a gun and gain a heart. When he get a gun on the ship, now he got courage. Now he want to stand up.
But he won't stand up to the oppressor.
Exactly. But he'll stand up to his own people and be ready to draw down and kill his own brother.
Yep.
But he don't even understand that the blessing that he is using isn't even his. He doesn't even have the knowledge to even use his actual blessing, which is scripture.
Right.
So what does that make Jake on the earth? A warden's assistant. Exactly. Because you got the people running in fear because you got the gun, and you're putting the fear that Esau. Now Esau's like, look at the people, they got guns.
What they say? Absolute power corrupts absolutely, or something, right? So it starts from the top. It starts from the Edomites. Right. I got the wicked son. It starts from the wicked. What they put out here in these schools, in the movies, and they pump that into the minds of our people. And then the people go around wanting to be like them. When they rob, steal, kill, and destroy. I got you, brother. The same way we got over here. They robbed, stole, and killed and destroyed our people. And that looks like power to our people. So our people think that's power. So let me do the same thing. I can get power too. Money, power, respect. That's the key to life, right? But no, it's about Yahweh. It's about his son, Yahushua. That's our true power. The one they killed in 37 AD. Yahushua, so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah. All right? They call us black and African. No, we Israelites. All right? True princes of the Lord.
Don't care who don't like it.
That's right. Now, he probably here. He got an ear. His ear torn to it for some reason. But where was that? Somebody got something?
What was that? Proverbs 103 and Did we just read
15,
Yeah.
14. You want to keep going?
14? Yeah, but the 16?
Okay, come. This is Psalms 103,
25?
15. It says,
25 and 9.
it says, as for man, his days are as grass.
Right, so our days are as grass, just like Cyrus the Great, just like Alexander. The grass grows upon the earth, and then what? Go ahead.
It says, as a flower of the field.
Right, can you catch that grass, man? I mean, it's many, you know? But everybody's so egotistical. Yeah. But the grass is, look at that. Humanity, look, go ahead, brother, catch it.
Just growing.
It's just growing upon the earth. That's how the Lord looks at humanity, man. But imagine each blade of grass having an ego. Right? I am somebody, like Jesse Jackass.
Hey, then you wouldn't have to have somebody come and mow it because it would mow itself.
It would mow itself. Yeah. A self-grooming tree.
Yeah.
It's like the moringa.
Right. but on a negative sense, because humanity can't grow as the grass because there's so much wickedness on the earth. That's why our life passes. That's when sin was brought into the earth. That's what makes our time span so short. Because all the wickedness that's on the earth.
That's that heat. That's that affliction and adversity. Let's gonna bring it up. Go ahead.
It's back at Psalms 103 and 15. It says, as for man, his days are as grass, as a flower of the field.
Right. Yep.
So he flourishes.
Right. So they flourish. You're on this earth, and then you flourish. You like a flower grows, and then it blossoms. It shows its bloom. You know, it shows its purpose on the earth, and then it dies. It starts to wither away. That's just like us on this earth. All these music artists, they grow. They get a career, and then next thing you know, they just become a legend. I have been, or like Whitney Houston, you know what I'm saying? Like people like that. They live their life in vanity. So us, we want ours to continue and follow us into the next life, to be this work. All right. So while we're in our bloom, we're asking the Lord not to let us wither, you know, to keep us. Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Psalm chapter.
Get back to that too.
Psalm chapter 37, verse 23.
Nice strong, brother.
The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighted in his way.
Right. So you going on this path in the truth, you shouldn't be prideful, because the fact that you're in this truth is because the Lord led you into this, just like he led us into this, period.
Verse 24, though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down.
Whoa, though we fall, like the flowers do, they might wither from a little lack of nutrients, a lack of sun. But the Lord, when that sun come out and beam, and the Lord rains on it, it begins to be strong again. And now the Lord has given us rain, the wisdom.
Verse 24, though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand.
Right, and that's Israelites. The Israelites were not utterly cast down. All right, because you still got us here standing. All right, you still got the other men around the world standing, and you believers out there, the men, women, and children. We still standing. Look at that. All right, the house, our house did not fall. It's not going to fall when the winds and the destruction begin to blow upon it. Go ahead, huh?
This is back in Psalms 103 and 14. For he knoweth our frame. He remembereth that we are dust. As for man, his days are as grass, as a flower of the field, so he flourishes.
Right, go ahead.
For the wind passeth over it.
The wind passeth over it. See the destruction that's coming in these times too. So, all right. So the Lord brought destruction over the Medo-Persian Empire. That's what the winds represent.
It says, for the wind passeth over it, and it is gone, and the place thereof shall know it no more.
There you go, man. All right. So kingdoms come and go upon this earth, man. So just like this kingdom here, we see America, you see the Roman Empire, the EU, everything they got built up, and they're planning for a new world order. But the Lord said, what? The wind blew up over it, and there's no more. Like it was never there. So that's what's about to happen, intervention. The changing of the age, once again, just like with Cyrus to the Greeks. Just like from the Babylonians to the Persians and the Medes, man. All right. Jeremiah 25 and 9.
This is Jeremiah 25, verse 9. It says, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith the Lord, in Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will bring them against this land and against the inhabitants thereof.
Right. So when you saw Alexander, you saw Nebuchadnezzar. He was servants of the Lord. The Lord controlled them. He said, I will bring Nebuchadnezzar, my servant. All right. Now, yeah, we're gonna get Isaiah 45 in a minute. Go ahead, brother.
And against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them, and make them an astonishment and an hissing and perpetual desolation.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 10, moreover, I would take from thee, Shalak, he says, moreover, I would take from them the voice of mirth.
Right, so the Lord took the voice of mirth out of our land, right? Go over 13 now.
Con, and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom,
Right,
and the voice of the bride.
Right, that's why we're seeing, our people are seen in the condition that they're in today, man. All right, the mirth of our land as Israelites was gone when we was in slavery, right? But now they partying and bullshit.
It says the sound of the milestones and the light of the candle.
Right, the sound of the millstone, right? And the light of the candle. That means there's no work there, there's no people, there's no light in the houses at night. All the houses were destroyed in Jerusalem. Right? So, but when the kingdom comes back on this earth, he said there's going to be smoke over the chimneys again. There's going to be clouds over the chimneys of the houses in Jerusalem. Meaning you're going to be in there cooking. You're going to be in there chilling in your house again.
Verse 11, it says, and this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment. And these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years.
Right? Seven what, brother?
70 years.
17?
70.
70. 17. That's a South versus North.
God,
you ain't got no D in there, bro. 7D.
7.
all right. Back at verse 12.
Nah, that was it. That was it. Can you read that 70 years part again?
Go ahead, I got you. It says, and this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years.
Right, man. See that? So 70 years. 70 years from what? Somebody got a calculator?
Damn.
All right. So this is the prophecy in Jeremiah 25. You know, the 70-year prophecy, not the 70-week prophecy in Daniel chapter 9. There's two different ones. But this is the 70-year prophecy. So let's go 70 from 586. All right. So we fell in 586 BC, but he said we were going to be stuck there under the power or in that condition from the Babylonians for 70 years. Now watch this. So from 586, you subtract 70, counting down in time. What's the time on that?
516.
516 BC. And what time was that? That was during the time of Darius the Persian. See, the Lord said from the time of Nebuchadnezzar, 586 BC, 70 years later, the Lord was going to allow us to rebuild the temple again. How did he do that? He rose up Cyrus the Great. And then from Cyrus the Great, you had his son Cambyses. And then from Cambyses, you had Bardia. And then Bardia was an imposter, and that made Darius the Persian step up in 522 BC. And then they killed Bardia, the imposter Persian, and Darius the Persian followed, what was that called? I'm gonna say edict, but the rules, huh? Decree, thank you. The decree of Cyrus the Great for the Israelites to be able to come back and rebuild Jerusalem. All right, and that happened. It was completed in the 7th year or the 6th year of Cyrus, which is 516 BC. Let's prove that. Daniel chapter 2 and 1. No, we can't read that one. Okay, good.
Okay. I got Daniel chapter 2, 1 all the way to 55.
All right, look good. No, that's not what I wanted. There's something else I wanted, man. What is that? Right on here. I want the one where they talk about the you know, the breastplate of silver and all that.
Oh,
Yeah, 30. Yeah, I think it's 31. Yeah,
32 or 31.
31, right?
Yeah.
It just shows even more that the Lord is ruling over the kingdom, the kingdom of men. He wrote it out. He said, "This is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be silver, gold." Blah, 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 blah.
It's Daniel 2 and 31.
Right.
Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible.
Right. Go ahead. So we're gonna read over to 32.
The image, its head was of fine gold,
Right.
his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass.
Right. So that's it right there. That was a 32. Yeah. So the head was of gold. All right. And who was the head? It's talking about Babylon, which was also known as the lion in Daniel 7. Why was it the lion? Because they worship something called Baal or Nebu or Marduk. All right. On the Ark of Babylon, which was called the Gates of Ishtar, they had a lion drawn on there, which represent Marduk. All right, goes back to an idol that they worship. Okay, so let's keep going. I mean, that was it on that, right?
Yeah.
So we're reading about the gold and the silver part. Can you read that part again, bro?
Yep. This is Daniel chapter 2,
Just to the silver, and we're gonna stop.
verse 32.
But the bronze.
This image's head was of fine gold,
Gold, Babylon,
his breast and his arms of silver,
silver.
his belly and thighs of brass.
See, and his belly and thighs of brass. So it goes into the Greek Empire. It goes from Cyrus the Great all the way up to Alexander and the Greeks. Okay. Yep. You want to show it? There you go. All right. So we were reading about the existence of Daniel. Daniel lived to see all of that. All right. He started prophesying around 620, and he died around 538 BC. He went to the lion's den twice. All right. So now let's get Second Ezra chapter 6 and 7. Let's try to keep it moving, y'all. Second Ezra 6 and 7.
It's the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
Oh, the parting asunder of the ages. The times, it just means ages or kingdoms. See that? What's going to be the parting asunder of these kingdoms?
Or when shall the end, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
Right, the Most High is the judge of that. All right, just like the Persians to the Greeks, those are end of ages and beginning of new ones. So the end of Esau's age, Esau's kingdom is going to be the beginning of ours.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held fast the hill of Esau.
Right, so the Lord had it planned all the way from back then, during the times of Jacob and Esau. Come on, y'all.
So like it held first the hill of Esau.
Yeah, come on, it's all good.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
There you go. See that? So Esau is the end of the age, and Jacob is going to be the beginning age that follows. See that? The Most High is the judge of that. All right, go ahead. Put that on the water.
The Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 3. It says, matter of fact, 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Hey, Con, so just like the brother was speaking on, man, hey, what's going to be the parting time asunder, man? Roughly paraphrase, slightly. All right, and we seeing those times now, all right, hey, because the Lord told us about those things from the beginning, man. Are you seeing the uproars of the people, the earthquakes in diverse places, wars, rumors of wars, man? And these are the times that we're at the end of the Esau's kingdom.
Right, man. Our power is on the throne. He's on the throne, man. That's what the focus of this is. He's on the throne, ruling. That's right, ruling. Those that you gotta believe without seeing. Because right now, if you look, you see Esau ruling. But you got to know that the triumphing of the wicked is short.
But it's just like what you said. You would think that a person that you dress up in a costume and put a crown on their head and say off with the head, you think they got power. They don't. So the ones that are playing puppet master on this side, Yahweh Shai's playing puppet master in the heavens on them.
Hey, that's like in that movie Dictatorship. He was basically a dictator over in like Saudi Arabia or some bullshit. He'd be like, hey, kill him. Then he got his ass sent over to America. And all the people that he was destined to be killed, they over here in America chilling. They were like, hey, gun.
All dictators. Yeah.
Like, so you have no power, man. Hey, they just sent you there as a puppet.
Hey, look at Trump. He was calling major shots when he was in the White House.
Yeah, well, Democrats and Republicans, they really have no power. The true power comes over there from Europe. Everybody know that. The elites, Illuminati, Rothschilds, and all them.
Yep.
The bankers, they the one that run it.
How America runs something, they don't even own the money.
They don't own the money.
That's how you run an establishment, through money, through revenue, through equity. Yep. That's how you run a country or run a business. That's all America is.
Yep. They run the market, man. Come on. They the ones that nah, man, that's a good thing, man.
Yeah, we are seeing Trump right here too.
Goofy ass either, mate. Let's keep going, man. All right, can somebody check the weather, yo?
It's supposed to be like 2:15. It's supposed to be a brief shower.
We'll check it out. It's 1:57. Somebody go to Daniel chapter 2 and 32. We probably wrap it up.
Here he comes again.
This is the book of Daniel. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 32. The image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver.
All right. So that's Babylon, Persians and the Medes.
Yeah. Over here.
He was Daniel 2 and 32.
Yeah, go ahead. All the way 35.
His belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron.
Right, that's the Roman Empire. You had the Greek Empire. All right, the Greeks with Alexander, but they don't know that it was our Lord that created the Edomite Alexander. It was a so-called black man that created Alexander. How about that one? Go ahead.
And it says, his feet part of iron and part clay.
All right, go ahead. So his feet part of iron and part clay. So that means it became the weak Roman Empire. We had the Brexit, the EU breaking up. You know, they're losing that power that they had, but it still got that same power of the Roman Empire in it. Go ahead.
Verse 34. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands.
See that now? A stone was cut out. That's what they messed up at. Yahweh Shai, he already been on the earth. His story was written already and sealed. Okay, 2,000 years ago.
Which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay.
Right, so the Lord gonna smite this image at the end of it, man. At the end of this system, the Lord is gonna smite them and bring down the whole, all the kingdoms upon the earth, all the nations, man. All right, what's that? Another intervention, the end of one age at the feet and the beginning of a new one.
And break them to pieces.
Right, gonna break into pieces, man. All right, because they all standing united right now, that new world order. But the Lord gonna break them apart and break them down.
Because if you think about it, you still have some of the fashions of Babylon, some of the fashions of Persia, some of the fashions of Greek, some of the fashions of Rome. So the statue is still standing. So that's why when he said he's going to tear down from the feet of them, it's going to break the whole statue down. So none of those influences will be able to infiltrate in the earth ever again.
Right, man. He's going to break metals. That was it.
Verse 35. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no places were found for them.
There you go. There go that wind again, that destruction. All right. So the Lord is going to send a wind on this place. They call it ICBM missiles, and through that destruction on this place, America, he's going to cast down all the kingdoms of the earth and their power through the dollar. You know, through their rulership on the earth, man. The Lord's gonna break the staff of the wicked. And then he's gonna break them over there in Europe. All All right, and then he's gonna break them with what's that? With his battle axe. All right, because we're the Lord's battle axe and weapons of war. We just gotta wait to be risen up.
And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain.
See that's the change of an age. We're gonna become a great mountain, like we're supposed to be, a government of Israel. Go ahead.
And filled the whole earth.
They're gonna fill the whole earth. That's what the Lord's train filling the whole earth. All right, His train is gonna fill the whole earth. That means we're gonna increase as a nation all around the world. From that point, from that beginning of our age, righteousness upon earth. All right.
I got a precept.
Yep. Isaiah 2 and 2. Go ahead, y'all get whatever y'all want to. We're gonna probably wrap it up. Nah, maybe not. Isaiah 2 and 2, real quick.
This is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2. It says, "And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh's house, shall be established in the top of the mountains."
See that? There you go. That means the mountain, the government of the Lord, Yahushua, the children of Israel. Somebody get that? The government gonna be on the shoulders.
This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6.
Right.
For unto us a child is born.
Unto who? Unto Israel, Yahushua was born.
Unto us a son is given.
Right. Yahweh gave his son Yahushua to the children of Israel. Go ahead.
And the government shall be upon his shoulders.
Right. And the government is upon his shoulders. All right. The government talking about who? The mountain. Go ahead. Read that again now.
This is Isaiah 2 and 2.
Hey, this is ignoring, bro.
It says, "And it shall come to pass in the last days."
Hey,
Sir,
hey, my man. What you trying to show him?
come around.
Yeah, I already showed
Go ahead.
him over the speaker and all that. According to the grace of God, which is given unto me as wise master builder. This is Paul speaking. I have laid the foundation, Yahushua, and another builders thereon. We're building on it. But let every man take heed how he builds. That's what we're building the truth. See, these churches not building the truth. See that? We're building upon the foundation of faith and prophecy. Okay. But what they're building on, edifying, they're not building at all in the churches. See that? Yeah, man. Yeah, okay. All right. Cut you, didn't I? Cut you with that one. Couldn't get that one in there. All right, go ahead.
This is Isaiah 2 and 2.
Okay. No, you agree. You agree. I agree with this. All right. Okay. All right, Freddy Krueger.
It is Isaiah 2 and 2. "And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh's house, shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall float unto it."
Right, there you go. So our mountain, our government, going to be established over all the other mountains. All right, and all the nations going to flow unto us. Meaning, right, they're gonna flow unto us to give us all their goods, man. All right, the Lord said, "What we're gonna suck the milk of the Gentiles, the kings, and the milk of their women." What did that mean? Their kings are gonna take care of us. Everything they got, their riches, they're gonna give it to us. All right, and the women, they're gonna take care of our babies. Go ahead. Go ahead. Good to see you too, bro.
This is the book of Acts 2 and 17. "And it shall come to pass in the last day, say Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Chai, I will pour out in my spirit upon all flesh."
Right. So the Lord is pouring his spirit out. He's pouring his spirit out right now. All right, brother. All right. He's looking for the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. That's right. The father named Yahweh. His son named Yahushua, man. That's right. Go ahead,
"And
brother.
your son and your daughter should prophesy."
Right. They're going to prophesy, man. You're going to have dreams. Your children are going to dream dreams. And they're going to say it to you, and you're going to be able to break it down. Or like Apostle Dahar brought it out yesterday. It was some little young sisters, they saw a chariot and they started prophesying. You see that? So the Lord gonna give them a reason to. Go ahead, brother.
"And your young man should see vision,
Right.
and your old man should dream dreams."
Right, man. And your old man should dream dreams. Go ahead. That was it.
Yeah.
So that's right. So the Lord is doing that, pouring out his spirit to raise us up to build upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets the right way. God. That's right, man. All right. So we use everything. Esau gonna give us an arm, we're gonna take that. You know, just like fighting, man. If you fighting the first thing somebody give you, you take that. You know, instead of just aiming for the head all the time. You take whatever they give you. So now, Jeremiah 29:10. Did we already bring that up? No, we didn't. Jeremiah 29 and 10.
Jeremiah chapter
We'll move
29, verse 10. But thus saith Yahweh, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word towards you and cause you to return to this place.
Right, so the Lord said he's going to perform his, where you at?
Jeremiah 29 and 10.
Yeah, can you read that again, nice and strong?
For just saith Yahweh, that after the 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you.
See, the Lord did that. He visited us. That's called what? Divine intervention. To change the age. He sent the angels and himself, Yahweh. He said, what? After the 70 years. So that was 586, 516. That's when we rebuilt. All right, the temple, the foundation at least. And we was able to dedicate to the Lord again. So keep on.
And perform my good work towards you and cause you to return to this place. For I know thoughts that I think towards you, said Yahweh, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end.
Come on, man. To give you an expected end. I mean, he already knows what our end was going to be. He saw that we were going to be in danger. We were going to be in wickedness. So the Lord increased his mercy and compassion to us. All right, in preparation. All right. So let's keep going. Ezra 4 and 20. We're going to wrap it up, though, somewhere along these lines.
Second Ezra or Ezra?
Ezra. Yeah. 4:24.
Second Ezra 4 and 24, right?
No, Ezra.
This is Ezra chapter 4,
Yeah.
verse 24.
Yeah, you good.
Then ceased the work of the house of the God, which is at Jerusalem. So it ceased until the 2nd year of the reign of Darius.
Right. So Darius started ruling in 522. So they stopped us rebuilding the temple for 2 years, all the way until 520. All right, all the way until 520 BC. Just follow with me, man. I ain't worried about you. Go ahead, brother. So that was it, right? All right, let's keep moving. Ezra 6 and 15.
Ezra.
Yeah.
This is the book of Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 15. And this house was finished on the 3rd day of the month Adar, which was in the 6th year of the reign of Darius the king.
There you go. All right, so the 6th year will be what? Somebody get a calculator and subtract. 522. All right, so it's in the 6th year of Darius, right? What was finished?
The house.
The house of the Lord was rebuilt. See that? The Lord promised us after 70 years. What was the 70 from? 586 to 516. The house was going to be built. Go ahead, brother. From 522.
It would be 516 BC.
Come on, accurate. All right. So from 522, yes, 6 years later, the Lord said it was built. He kept his word to us. So now, don't you think the Lord is going to keep his word today? It's going to be accurate, on point, on time, on cue.
Right.
All right. And if you hate this, if you hate what we're teaching, it's because you hate the Lord too. I just want to say that as a side note. You got any animosity against for any reason towards this camp or anybody for any reason at this point, it's because you really just hate the Lord or you're just a hater.
And it's a perverseness and breaching the spirit.
He says a perverseness and breaching. It's
a perverseness and breaching the spirit. That's a sign. They
right.
need to fix that.
All right, man. You should be joining in. The scriptures say, "A wise man heareth a wise word; he addeth unto it." Not trying to block somebody out because you dirty motherfuckers just don't like somebody. The Lord ain't worrying about that. He's no respect that person. Fuck what you think. It's about the Lord's word. All right. So let's keep going. Isaiah 45 and 1. That was it on that, right? All the way 16. Yep, 6 and 15. All the way 16. I think that was it.
Let me get it up.
So 16. Yeah, 15. Yeah, 6 or 15. All the way 16.
All right. Back at the book of Ezra, chapter 6, and verse 16. And the children of Israel, the priests and the Levites, and the rest of the children of the captivity, kept the dedication of this house of God with joy.
See that? So in 516 BC, we were able to rededicate the temple once again. All right, it's like a rededication. So the Lord kept his promise to us, man. All right, as we believe the Lord is gonna keep his promise today. Okay, and Isaiah 45:1 all the way to 7. Whoever get it quicker. Oh yeah, precept. Hey, go ahead, brother. Bring it once more.
Acts chapter 12, verse 21. And this is kind of going back into Yahweh ruleth in the kingdom of men, set up the kings. And upon a set day, Herod arrayed in royal apparel and sat upon his throne and made an orientation unto them. And the people gave a shout, saying, "It is the voice of a God, and not of a man." And immediately the angel of the Lord smote him, because he gave not Yahweh the glory, and he was eaten of worms and gave up the ghost. But the word of Yahweh grew and multiplied. And that just goes to show that Yahweh ruleth everything, down to the smallest, down to the smallest thing we can think of, beyond our comprehension.
And you better watch your tongue when he puts you in rulership.
You better watch your tongue.
Because every single king, same thing with Nebuchadnezzar. He said the same thing. I am a god. I am this, that, and the third. He's like, all right, let me show you something. Every single one that fell, they said the same thing.
Yeah, they always say, "Yo, king, live forever."
Yeah. And they died.
Yep. They thought they were immortal back then. You know, every king that started ruling, they thought they was immortal. They thought they were gods, just like Xerxes, just like the Greeks, just like the Romans. All right, all the Romans, they started what they call that?
Deifying themselves.
Thank you. Yeah, deifying them. All right, they started worshiping them, man. All the Augustuses. Go ahead. You got one?
And this is Revelation. It just land back in the apostles and the brothers, all right? On how ultimately the king or kings that reign here on earth, we have a king in the heavens, in the Shemayim, already that lives, all right? And once what's already established in the heavens, it ultimately just got to play into this lesser realm on earth, the footstool. This Revelation is 10 and 7. No, 6. And swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that therein are, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and the things which are therein, that there should be no time, there should be time no longer. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, and ultimately the seven ultimately representing the prophecies, we're in that seventh trump. When he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Yahweh shall be finished, as he hath declared to his servants the prophets. So it's ultimately waiting on it to be finished, man, to be fulfilled. Or as the Lord said, he's not coming to destroy, all right, but to fulfill. You know, roughly paraphrase.
All right, brother. All right, let's get this Isaiah 45:1. We can wrap it up with this, brother.
This is Isaiah chapter 45, verse 1. Thus said the Lord Yahweh to his anointed, to Cyrus.
Right, so before we go into this, you know that the Lord was controlling Cyrus. And you know the ultimate goal and agenda for Yahweh is to give us a kingdom, man, at the end of the day. Making us perfect. Go ahead.
It says, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden.
Right, so the Lord was controlling Cyrus, meaning spiritually. He was holding him in place. All right, that's why he said for him to let go, he had to bring Michael. So he can go talk to Daniel face to face. He said, yo, I'm gonna go talk to Daniel. Hey, Michael, come over here. You hold him. All right.
He says, to subdue the nations before him.
Right. So the Lord held Cyrus and instructed his mind to subdue all the nations before Cyrus. Right? And Babylon was the target.
It says, I will loose the loins of kings.
Right. So the Lord is gonna break down kings. All right, loosen their loins, meaning break them down. And one of those loins is who? Belshazzar. What's his name? Belshazzar, right?
Yeah. Broke down his loins and his bows.
Yeah, when the Lord wrote on the wall, he said many, something carte. Yeah, he told him that basically tonight you're gonna die and fall. You know, your kingdom is taken and given to the Persians. All right, he told him that to the Persians and the Medes. And then immediately he shitted on himself. All right, so he weakened them. He broke them down. Broke their strength down. Go ahead.
It says,
The gird up your loins as men. So he broke them down.
and I will loose the loins of kings to open before him the two levied gates. And the
Oh,
gates,
there you go. We was talking about that last night. So he said he's gonna do what?
says, open before him the two levied gates.
Right. So the two leave gates. It just means like you would walk through a what's that, an ark, and they'll have leaves on both sides.
Like ivy leaves and shit on the
Yeah.
bottom.
But this was talking about Ishtar gates. So he was letting Cyrus know that he was gonna open up those gates that were usually shut and blocking any intruders. He said they're gonna be bust wide open. I'm gonna let you walk right into Babylon. And those Ishtar gates gonna be open, and you're gonna be stepping into Babylon, Cyrus, and they ain't gonna be able to do shit about it. All right, go ahead.
It says, and the gates shall not be shut. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will,
Right, the Lord gonna get everything out of his way, just like the Lord is getting everything out of our way and out of Yahushua's way. All right, go ahead.
it says, I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron.
Right, man.
And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and
Right.
hidden riches of secret places.
Right, so the Lord got hidden riches all over this earth, man, that he can give us.
Right.
There's nothing. In the kingdom, he gonna give us all of that. Go ahead, brother. Just like what was that, Africa that found that gold? You got it, right? They are Esau been all over that. You don't even hear about it no more. They was all over that like flies on shit. Keep my language.
It says, and I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord Yahweh, which called thee by thy name, am the God of Israel.
Right, so who gave the riches to Esau? The God of Israel. All right, so our power is an almighty power, man. He can give riches even to these heathens, but he gives true riches to us in eternity. Like the Negro, Latinos, Native Americans who are set to inherit the kingdom of eternity. All right, that's life is way richer than carnal riches upon the earth. How can you experience riches upon the earth if you're dead?
Verse 4, like it says, for Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect.
Right, so the Lord raised up Cyrus. He raised for us to free us from the grip that Babylon had on us. All right, so the Lord raised up who? Russia and China and these nations to free us from the grip that Esau has on us today.
It says, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me.
Right, so they don't know the Lord. Go ahead.
It says,
these nations.
I am the Lord Yahweh, and there is none else.
He's the Lord. He's the power. Yahweh, man. There is none else. So any power that's on earth is given from Yahweh, period. Left hand or the right hand side.
It says, there is no God besides me.
There's no power besides Yahweh.
I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. Verse 6, that they may know me from the rising of the sun,
right.
And from the west, that there is none besides me.
Right, man, because it was written in what they call them, John? The scrolls and
seals.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now, man. But the cylinders that they were writing on, you know, like the Assyrian and the Persian hieroglyphs, like the Egyptians. Steels. All right, they got it written on their steelers about the God of Daniel. Woo, so it's written in their history about our God. So that'll be known from the east to the west coast about Yahweh. That was it. Verse 7.
6. And it says, I am the Lord Yahweh, and there is none else.
There you go, man.
Verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things.
There you go, man. All right. So when we see the evil coming upon this earth and all hell breaking loose, you know there's a judgment from Yahweh. All right. And the peace that we're going to have in the kingdom and that pursuit of happiness we can only truly get from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right. Proverbs 21:1.
Proverbs 21:1.
Good. Proverbs 20 and 24.
This,
Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will.
Right. So just know that, man. When we see these kings threatening us, threatening the world with all these policies and things they putting in place, and pressing that fear button on us, and draconian measures that they bring in, just know that the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He's the one steering this ship.
All right. This Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?
There you go, man. Like just like this man over here. Just wandering around the earth. All right. Sirach 18 and 5. Look at that. Sirach 18 and 5. Daniel 10 and 12. And we got one more. That's
This is Sirach chapter 18, verse 5. It says, who shall number the strength of his majesty?
Well, who can number it? How can you count it? How can you measure the depths of the sea? How can you even measure the height of heaven? So how can you at all measure the strength of Yahweh? They can't even measure the strength of a gorilla.
Right? And who shall also tell out his mercies?
Right. So who can tell out his mercies from the beginning? He did. He the only one that's been speaking it from the beginning. Through us, through our time. That shows eternity. That shows long suffering. All right. Immortality. Power. That shows power. Go ahead, brother. Come on, man. Let's get it.
Keep going with Sirach.
No, let's go to Daniel chapter 10, verse 12.
This is Daniel chapter 10, verse 12.
Yeah.
Then said he unto me, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understanding, and to chasten thyself before thy power, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words.
Right. So now we got a clear understanding of the scripture. All right, go ahead.
Verse 13, but the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days, but lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia.
Right, go down to verse 20 or 19. Yeah, 20.
20.
Yep.
Then said he, knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? And now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia, and when I'm gone forth, lo, the prince of Grecia shall come.
Now it should make more sense. That once the Lord goes forth, things gonna change. The Lord is a changer of times. He operating on a whole nother level. All right, God level, controlling time, controlling kingdoms, man. All right, Job 12 and 14. Yeah, Job 12 and 14, man. The scriptures say, man, the Lord, he openeth and no man closes.
All right, this is Job chapter 2.
This is the book of Job, chapter 12, and verse 13. With him is wisdom and strength. He have counsel.
Oh, so we said wisdom. All right, wisdom control everything, right? Raise up kings to put it down, king. So wisdom come from Yahweh. Go ahead. It's with him. No, you good.
He have counsel and understanding.
Yep.
Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again.
There you go, man. So once the Lord breaks us down, he broke us down as a nation, and we couldn't rebuild ourselves. So once the Lord breaks down Esau and their system, just like he broke down the Greeks, they couldn't rebuild it. All right? Unless the Lord said so.
He shutteth up a man, and there can be none opening.
Yeah, so I guess all week. Well, last week we was talking about the Lord opening and shutting. So it's about his power, that he's ruling, man, and he even shut up Esau, the devil, for 1,000 years. And showed us that. He's doing that to show us, like, yo, don't worry about the things you see, man. Focus on the things you can't see. Focus on the Force, like we in Star Wars or something. Focus on Luke the Skywalker. Yeah. That's it, man. All right, so anybody got any precepts you want to bring up real quick? Go ahead, brother.
This is Sirach chapter.
It says storms don't last forever. It's always
chapter 10. Like
the sun is always shining, man.
This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 4. It says, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
Right.
So the power of the earth is in the hand of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And in due time, he's going to set one up that is profitable to rule over it. Yahushua.
Right, yep. I'm gonna stick to that point. I was telling my children that the other day. The storms don't last always. So who controls the storm? The Lord. But the sun is always shining out there somewhere. There's no storms blocking it. It's just shining. That's like Yahweh shining and ruling out there, man. Even though the storms are in place and they come and go. You know. So yeah, man. Any more precepts? Good. All right, yeah, that's cool, man. I guess we had a little snack on that one. We ended there, man. So hey, we hope you're edified once again, building upon the foundation properly. Like Esau was trying to say we weren't, but yeah, thanks for watching and thanks for showing support and share our videos. So we want this to get out so that you'll be edified and others will be edified, and the sooner we can build each other up to a certain level, the quicker we get the hell out of here, man. When the Lord feels like we're all secure and in faith in Him and His power, behind the scenes and on the scenes. All right, so we're gonna end it there and say, Kal, Allah, La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ha, Rakah, Qadash, all right, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders, and shalom to you, Akim, and our Guatemalan children that still believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. And shalom.
Shalom.
Yes,